Welcome. So, what's been going on?
Probably Jimmy Kimmel. That's where we start.
Is it Jimmy Kimmel or is it free speech? What is, like...
Well, we talk about Jimmy Kimmel because of the fact that at first it was kind of a gray area when it was like, okay, people are getting fired for what they're saying, but a lot of them were saying, kind of nasty shit about Charlie Kirk, whereas Jimmy Kimmel came out and he said, the entire dialogue, he never said a single thing about Charlie Kirk. He just said...
He didn't say anything negative, really.
Look at how the person who is supposedly a second son to Trump, look at how Trump's reacting.
Yeah, he pointed out the reaction. He didn't talk about what Kirk said.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It wasn't like I didn't like Charlie Kirk, he had it coming. He never said
He didn't
like
say
that.
anything like, I hope he dies, or glad he's dead. He said nothing like that.
Yeah.
He pointed out something about the current administration, the president, who then literally said, yeah, but did you see my ballroom? Like, the ego on that guy, it's not just a problem, it's...
Well, I know we talked about it, and I said the reporter didn't mention Charlie Kirk in the sentence. I rewatched it. He did. He said, he was like, hey, Mr. President, I'm sorry to hear about Charlie Kirk. How are you feeling about everything? And
Right.
then he said it.
Right, yeah, he asked him about it. The reporter asked him what his thoughts are on Charlie, how Trump was doing with Charlie Kirk. And it's a really healthy individual who goes, yeah, somebody just got shot violently, but I'm building an addition to my house. Like, that's sociopathic behavior.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk about it too much. I'm employed.
Okay, fair enough. But let's talk about free speech then, because Jimmy Kimmel, and they have, from what I've seen, and we can pull up some sources, the pressure coming from the government, the FCC got pressured to pull somebody for what? Like, he didn't say anything. Like, the idea of free speech being questioned, I've even seen some right-wing pundits talking about it, even some that I'm not even a fan of, but...
Tucker?
Your words. Hate speech is unfortunately protected. Well, I don't mean unfortunately, but I mean the level of vileness which goes along in this country. We were talking about guardrails last time we spoke. Like, there's no guardrails on what you can say as long as you don't actively incite violence, and even if you do, if you're a certain person, it's okay. So the things he said were...
They're trying to pass a bill now where it's not just inciting violence, it's... I forget the exact term, but somewhat of supporting a terrorist organization.
Well,
so
right.
whether that is through...
But the problem there, let's just stop right there. Saying if you support terrorism. Like, the entire world knows that America and another really close friend of ours are the biggest terrorists. Everybody else calls that. But when the administration goes, you're a terrorist.
Well, the administration...
Who gets to...
Yeah, the administration is now going to...
start labeling people as terrorists.
Trump came out, labeled Antifa as a terrorist organization. He'll probably do his best to label the Democrats as a whole.
That's what he's been doing. That's been the program.
Organization. It's an issue. And he's kind of going against what Charlie Kirk probably would have wanted. Which leads me to believe, it was...
How do you mean? I want to explore that. What do you mean? He was...
Charlie Kirk was big on free speech.
Well, clearly, that's the only way he made a buck, and he did really well with free speech.
Yeah, so he would never want Jimmy Kimmel to be fired or suspended indefinitely because of this.
So here's the question I have, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but doesn't it come down to the fragility of one person's ego? Like, even the right-wingers are going, oh, no, hate speech is free speech.
I mean, yeah, you look at... who's in his corner now? Who's supporting him? Who's not, on his cabinet? Who is coming out and supporting him? Charlie
Nobody's
Kirk was.
That's not in the
Tucker
cabinet
Carlson.
supporting him. A lot of people don't say anything. A lot of people don't deny
Marco
him.
Rubio certainly fucking is loving Trump.
Because he has to. He's in his cabinet.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of power.
Right,
But my question is, who
where are you going with
right now, media-wise, a Tucker Carlson, a Candace Owens, who is out there saying, I support what Trump is doing?
I can't say that I know. I don't pay it.
I haven't seen anything.
But nobody said that for years.
So, said what?
The only people that said I support Trump are the people who want something from him or are afraid of the retribution.
I don't think so. There are plenty of people who actually thought Trump was going to do good when he got into office. Support
Well, yeah, that's why people voted for him. But I do believe that they've been proven. I mean,
Charlie Kirk, for instance. All the reports coming out saying that he was personally talking to Trump. Don't bomb Iran. Don't get involved with Iran. Trump got pissed off at him.
he didn't get pissed off. He got pressured by the Israeli government.
But no, like Trump barked. The word was Trump barked at
Kirk?
Charlie Kirk. They got into a fighting match, and I'm sure you've seen all the billionaires or all the reports that Candace Owens is doing right now about the billionaires who were offering him funding, and Netanyahu personally offered him $150 million.
No, I didn't hear about this. Netanyahu offered who $150 million?
It's not confirmed.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to say right now, I don't think that
Netanyahu?
that's accurate.
You don't think so?
I haven't heard it, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but for what? Offered Kirk $150 million to what? Support Israel?
Yeah, go even harder on Israel. Because they were starting to he was going to moderate a debate between an Israeli and, I don't know if it was a Palestinian, but somebody on the Palestinian side. And then he was just going to moderate it.
Kirk was.
Yeah, and then,
I didn't know about
remember who, but there was this whole podcast where he was sitting there and he was saying, they're attacking my character. They're not attacking my views. They're attacking my character, saying I'm a bad person for moderating a debate, not even taking a side.
But see, that's the problem with hate speech, is when you vilify people.
So you want to stay on that? The freedom of speech.
Well, I don't know. Like, it makes sense. Like, he got offered an obscene amount of money, allegedly.
Which he turned down.
Which he turned down. Good for him. But that's the whole point. That's what you're talking about, is freedom of speech. He wasn't allowed.
Do we really... Okay, I think we can probably agree that we don't have freedom of speech at this point.
I think
can't speak freely on
We
this
have-
podcast. I want to keep my job. I want to keep my passport as well.
True. But we do have the freedom to do this. The problem is there's people with power that abuse the power. At the end of the day, I still think we have freedom of speech. But what I think we have in place of a legal system that supports that is an evil fucking dictator who applies pressure anywhere he can, even though that it's illegal, to get what he wants, which is to silence his critics, which is leaning us away from freedom of speech towards an autocratic or a fascist nation, sure, that says you can't say anything unless we agree with it. But we have it right now. But the problem is that a fascist dictator takes away the rights of the media, takes away the rights of the population, of the masses, to do what they want. That's what you're talking about. Like,
I don't think... I would love to see a poll.
Like a stripper pole?
Yeah, no, I want to go to a strip club right now. That's like exactly what
We got another at least 20 minutes on this video.
It's noon on Thursday. Let's go to a strip club. Yeah.
I hear the buffet is excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry, you would love to
$10
see a
prime
poll.
rib. I would love to see some type of like poll about who is really supporting Trump. Like, who is in Trump's corner saying this is good, citizens-wise. Like, there's no way.
There's a lot of red hats out there still. So here
Well, I want I wish I could be in a bird's eye view and actually see, because there's no way that people are seeing this not thinking this is a little
much.
authoritarian. Yeah, because it's like blurry line. I could see how he kind of could get away with that. I see what he's kind of doing, and then like it hits a certain point where it's like, okay.
But it's always there's always a certain point. We're just hitting a different point every time. So when he first ran, it was grabbing by the pussy. Lost most of the women. Got some of them back somehow. But that's the whole point.
Fatherless women.
Back to the stripper pole. So the idea that there's a blurry line, he has been a master at using media. And I was talking to somebody.
We should cut that fatherless woman thing out.
No editing here. Don't worry, we know you meant it as a joke. We're not going to take that to heart. But the idea that there's blurry lines, look, and I don't really want to say this because this is a golden ticket for Trump. At the end of the day, he could get past this whole Epstein thing really simply. All you have to do is say, I like women, I like them young, I've slept with a whole bunch of people, but they were all 18 or over, let it go. If he were to come out and say that, all his red hat supporters would be like, yeah, it's legal. Okay, so he's a womanizer, whatever. I like a man who's a woman. They're all with him. They all have accepted all the shit he's done along the way, last term, this one, They've accepted it. Why would this be any different? Freedom of speech. Yeah, you shouldn't talk out if you're going to say something bad about the president. You don't like it, leave. That's where they're at.
I could see how that could work.
But
Once again, like the same way I said that I would love to have a bird's eye view of like what most American citizens think at this point. I would also love to know what are Trump's true intentions? What is he trying to do? Because it doesn't make sense if he wants to.
You don't know?
Like this full-on dictator.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to leave office. It's so critical.
He's doing it way too rigidly, in my opinion. I mean, I guess I'm not an expert, but the things that he's running take over a country that has been a democracy, and that's what like we are proud of. Like that is
we're the great American experiment.
That's the foundation of the country. That we're free. It's a democracy. For somebody to try to be a dictator, it would have to be kind of this slow burn. And it feels like everything he's doing is, especially right now, it's very rigid.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. You're young. This has been a slow burn. He's not the first one to start the thing in motion. Everything from...
Well, he might have just been the one who was lucky enough to get in when he got in.
Yeah.
We were probably already heading towards this path, and it was just, we were waiting for a dictator to come.
Trickle-down economics. All the people going in, all the folks from the big tobacco going in front of Congress lying about the addictive nature of cigarettes and tobacco and not really having any consequences. Bail out of the big banks. Like, this has been building and building, removing the guardrails of a free and fair market. A free and fair market doesn't mean free of regulations. The only ones that survive are the ones that have those guardrails.
Where did that begin?
It began a long time. Probably JFK getting his head blown off. Probably him going.
Probably sooner.
There's
probably a reason why he got his head blown off, because he was trying to.
He was trying to get us back. Yeah, it went before that. Like the whole idea of as an example, I believe it was Rockefeller that set up our school system. And he was saying, like, he had all the work. He needed a nation of workers, not thinkers.
Yeah, he said that. And then...
So, like, how far back does this have to go? Like, I want to control. And it doesn't have to be necessarily one person or group that have been doing it, but those that have money and power have been leveraging it to get more. And not just natural, and this is something Terence McKenna says, there doesn't need to be a leader of this movement. There just needs to be a few people that are on it and, you want to get more money and power? So do I. Hey, let's do this let's take advantage of these people. And it just, their goals are aligned, so it accelerates their degradation of American values.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a person. So you think Trump is being too rigid? I think he's following the playbook astoundingly well. Alienate the media, take away the freedoms. I'm getting a little...
I guess my thought process is, at some point, Americans should see it and be like, all right, like, let's not...
More than half the Americans do see it and have been calling it out.
I think so too.
So when you've got Israel committing a genocide and people are starting to speak up for that and go, this isn't right. And then you've got like freedom of speech under attack. First you had Colbert getting fired from pressure from CBS. Like I'm surprised people weren't having this level of outrage at that. Because that was the exact same thing, in my opinion. Like,
I think emotions are really heightened right now too, so the outrage is gonna be higher. And realistic, if we're being realistic,
we're being realistic.
The emotions are super high right now. There is a very high-profile assassination. Realistically, most people are gonna go back to their lives, and 2 weeks from now, they're not gonna give a shit that Jimmy Kimmel was fired. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I mean, super sad about Charlie Kirk, yada yada yada. Nobody's really gonna care about.
And that's a problem. I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
what's happened is because...
It's a problem, but when you take how big America is, I gotta pay rent. You gotta pay your mortgage. Everybody else has to pay their shit.
Yeah, by the way, you gotta pay for insurance.
Okay, thanks. Cool. Anyways, it's so hard to... I don't know. Like you said, the process has been in effect for so long. They kind of got us right where they want us.
It's not reversible.
Kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you say, well, let's start a revolution. I can't.
You're a terrorist if you do. At this
No,
point
no,
of the
that's not what
game.
I'm saying. Like, I'm saying, like, even if I believed in, like, yeah, we need a revolution as a people,
Yeah.
and people approach me, hey, like, we're gonna go,
We're going to stand up.
we're gonna protest. You'd be like, cool. I gotta go work though, because rent's due on the 1st, and that's
Well, that's
more than half the country.
that's the whole point of the false American dream. Work hard, go to college, get a job, get a mortgage, retire when you're 60. Like, that whole thing was a fucking lie to create a workforce of employees. Now people have gone to college, can't even afford rent, much less a home. They can't afford to live. You need 2 or 3 incomes just to survive and have roommates as adults. Like, that whole thing was like, it's been set in motion, and I'm going to come back to it.
And that's why I said
it's this
the
book
last
right
time.
here. The Big Myth speaks about the lies that were perpetrated on us and told us, just go to work, just work hard, and be smart. Like, nobody gets ahead working a job.
And that's why I said.
That's why you said what? I'm boring him.
Yeah, you said something, and I was like, I mean, I don't really blame Trump. And you're like, you don't blame Trump for all the shit he's done? I was like, no.
How do you not
Like,
blame somebody who
it's
did the
fault.
things?
Because it's been in effect for so long.
So who do you blame? Do you blame people? Or you just go, this is just the nature of politics and discourse? Carefully, the microphone.
I guess, like, my thought process might be, is it relevant to try to find a group of people or somebody specifically to blame?
Well, I think at the end of the day, the key, not just to find somebody to blame and feel better about yourself by pointing a finger, but I think it's a critical step in surviving, if not undoing, the bullshit and the problems we face. You can't just go, oh, shit's fucked, we're out. Like,
What else are you supposed to do at this point?
stand up.
I gotta pay rent. Who am I gonna stand up to?
You're going to stand up to the power. You're going to speak truth to power. That's what the whole point of all of this is.
And I can talk about my beliefs,
Oh, yeah, beliefs.
and I can say, like, this is wrong, that is wrong. But they kind of got us where they want us. What is that gonna do?
Well, it sounds like you're giving up. Sounds like
I don't think I'm.
This sounds like the point you were before the election when I was trying to convince you to vote. Like, what does it matter? I'm one person. I don't have a say. But that's the point. That's how they win, is to get you to think like a sheep and not think for yourself and not realize you as an individual do have power.
I see what you're saying.
No.
One, I don't think I think like a sheep.
I don't think you do either.
Two,
Too
I
much.
think when I say it's not relevant to vote for a president because of the fact of how you just agreed that this has been in process for a long time. The process of making Americans workers, not thinkers. So in my head, I'm like, okay, voting for Kamala, voting for Trump, voting for Newsom next election, J.D. Vance, kind of does me fuck all. The only thing I can really do...
I disagree with you that it does fuck all. You got one person, one side, who is absolutely trying to destroy America. I think we just agreed to that. They're leveraging everything they can to become a dictator so that those that are close to the dictator reap the benefits.
They're approaching interesting, unseen territory, yes.
Okay, then the other side is, we're fucking dumb, we're weak, but we believe in people. And yeah, we take some bribes and we're not great, but we believe in America enough to steal, cheat, and lie just enough, but we really do. Like,
We
do
believe
you, wait,
in
hold on.
America enough to steal, cheat, and lie, but I don't agree with that statement of the Democrats are allowed to say that, but the Republicans are not. Just because
I didn't
like,
finish my sentence.
You're
My
going to
point was,
justify, what was it, steal, cheat, and lie on this side?
no, I'm not justifying. No,
you
you,
can't say the same thing. I care about America so
that's
much.
not what I'm
steal,
doing.
cheat, and lie.
You cut me off before I finished. My point was that it does happen on both sides, but only one of these sides has a section or a faction that says no to all of it. No to lobby money. No to money in politics.
No to lobby money. Who? The Democrats?
The progressives, the far left, they're the ones who say we want grassroots, we want the people, we want money out of elections, you can donate but limited to individual people and capped it off. No PAC money, let's get rid of PACs, let's get rid of the thing that's been corrupting our system, because both sides are
Yeah,
corrupt.
and that's cute. If they didn't want, they might actually have a chance if they weren't sitting there saying like people should get sex changes at 12.
They're not saying that. That's what the fucking Republican talking point said they said. Nobody's saying that.
You're saying
That's
that they
sheep
don't-
mentality.
So you're saying they didn't believe that parent or kids should be allowed to have sex changes?
That's a different statement.
Okay, that's my question.
Which one? Which one are you
Are
questioning?
you, I don't know this to be fact, but I'm pretty sure most of the progressives
He
on
doesn't
that
know it's
side
fact.
who are trying to take the money out of politics are also the ones saying
They're trying to
12-year-old.
take the government out of it. It should
Okay,
the
okay,
government
but-
should not
okay,
have
okay,
a
but,
say
like,
what
let me
happens
ask-
between
let
me
me
and my
ask you this.
doctor.
Let me ask you this.
Wait, let me finish that sentence. The government shouldn't have any say between what happens between me and my doctor. If a kid goes to his parent and says, I don't feel, hold on. If a kid goes to his parent and says, I don't feel right, something's weird, something's off. Do I want to go to my senator or my doctor?
Go to your doctor and go to a therapist.
Fine, perfect. At what point does the government come into that conversation?
You should not be able to alter your body until you're 18. I don't think you should be able to get a boob job until you're 18.
That is a
You shouldn't get a nose job until you're 18.
that is a wonderfully fine belief, but it's your belief and it's not a fact.
Right.
I'm going to do whatever I can for my kids, you being one of them. If you would have come to me and said, I'm not Tank, I'm a girl. If that's what
I
you,
sure hope that you wouldn't let me just get a sex change.
but that's not what's on the table. You're taking this to the extreme. That's between me, you, and our doctors and our professionals.
Right.
My whole argument ends right there. You want to then throw something on top of it, which allows the Republicans to have talking points. It doesn't fucking matter. What happens
kinda
between
matters.
It doesn't if you just make up artificial scenarios that says my son has a problem, but I'm going to involve my government.
That's not an art.
The doctors. If I can't trust my
there's
if I
been
can't trust
government
my
intervention-
doctor,
There's been government intervention in this country for years. Like, the liberals don't want to take the government out of everything.
no,
right?
no.
They want a lot of regulation.
They want regulation. They want roads. They want police. They want the things that make a society. They want a social
Right.
safety net. They
Right.
want the things that serve the people. The others want things that serve them.
Yes,
That's
sure,
all I'm
but
trying to say.
You can serve the people, but you can also sit there and say, there's a cultural issue in America, and if a 12-year-old wants to get a sex change, they probably shouldn't get a sex change. They should probably
This
go
is
to
not a
therapy.
talking point.
That's absolutely a talking point. Because if they didn't make those talking points themselves,
They didn't make those talking points. Nobody went in front of a government agency and said, hey, look, you have to try and accept this as close to your heart as possible. There's so few instances of that versus all the other problems. Why are they talking about that? Because it's so extreme and it's so ridiculous that anybody's saying, oh, I don't want to mutilate 12-year-old children. Nobody does. But saying that and then accusing the other side of being the ones who want that creates disharmony. It creates fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It is not an issue.
what I'm saying is,
Wait, it's
if you're on
acknowledged.
the left side, be smarter, so you don't you don't have these outlandish scenarios like a 12-year-old getting a sex change. So then
It's
you can
not
actually
a
have
scenario. The
points.
right made that scenario up. That's not a real thing.
But then the left will sit there and say, yes, it should be between me and my doctor, which then in turn agrees with the fact that a 12-year-old should be able to get a sex change.
Your argument right now, as I hear it, says if somebody steps up to me and calls me a name and accuses me of, they do the old classic double bind. When are you going to stop beating your wife? I have three choices. I can say I'm not going to stop, or I'm going to stop later, or I can just walk away. If I don't engage with that, but the problem is the media goes, oh, that's ripe for contention. Let's talk about that. Who wants to do that? Then they get some false doctor to say, I've seen cases, but it's not a real thing. It's literally designed to invoke fear so that we can divide the country and talk about that rather than all
then
the other problems.
Okay, I'll take that, but then the left should be a lot better at shutting that shit down.
They should, and that's why we
Yes.
need progressives who go, that's not relevant. Like, we're not talking about that. I completely agree with you. But the thing is, the people on the right and the left, whichever hand is which, they loved up until very recently. They're like, yeah, this discourse is good. Let's just fight because that's good for TV. That gets us more popular. But they didn't realize the right has been evil about it, where the left has been nuancedly ignorant. They just thought, oh, this is good publicity.
You're bringing in intentions about two sides, and
What intention did I bring? That they're evil?
one's evil and then one cares, but they're ignorant.
Oh, I didn't say they cared. I just said I said they were nuancedly ignorant.
Earlier, you did say that they care about democracy; they're just stupid, and they said the other side doesn't.
Yeah, I think general politicians
like-
don't. I'm going to lump all the politicians. I think the far right and the far left, truly believe. The whack jobs the people I'm calling whack jobs, like Stephen Miller, I think he's true. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she's true in her heart. I just think she's wrong and dumb, but I think she's true in her heart.
Okay.
But the people just this side of it, like the Charlie Kirks of the world, I don't really think they believed in what they were pitching. They were just causing dissent and disagreement just to get attention.
I think Charlie Kirk was pretty genuine in what he said.
If he really believed those things he said about race and gender, then I don't think anybody... I disagree.
Okay, well, let's dive into that. What did he say about race? What did he say about gender?
Oh, let me pull it up. Hold on. You get to talk for a second. Talk to the camera.
Maybe we just cut this into it there.
Oh my God. You really want me to pull these up? Okay.
We might cut this
If I
out.
see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Charlie Kirk Show, 23rd of January.
Get more context on that?
I'm just giving you the quotes. If you're a WNBA pot-smoking black lesbian, do you get treated better than a United States Marine?
Yes, actually, we do, because they had a choice between Brittany Griner or the other one.
They didn't have a choice. There's different political...
Fact check it.
What?
Did they have a choice? Fact check it.
There's political... and this I got from the CIA guy, Andrew Bustamante. If you're in the military, there's a different set of rules they have to play by. Him using that, either he didn't know, either Charlie Kirk was ignorant, or he didn't know, or he leveraged it, sorry. Either he didn't know or he leveraged the fact that, oh, these two things should be equal, but we brought home a black lesbian as opposed to a military person. No, there's a different set of rules when you're dealing
When
with
you
military.
say different set of rules, what do you mean?
There's a different protocol. You can't just like negotiate and say, hey, bring that guy home. Like, if
We
you
gave them a arms dealer. We gave them a literal, like, terrorist.
right? Okay.
So what do you mean there's different rules when it comes to Marine?
Marines are worth more to other countries than black lesbian WNBA players.
Right, but we gave them a...
Wait, you're jumping the shark. That doesn't matter what we gave them. My point is that there's a different rules of engagement. They took one of our superstars. By the way, I love Brittany Griner.
Okay.
She was awesome for this valley. She did a great job. She was a badass basketball
What
player.
did she do?
She brought attention to the sport. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
For
sports later.
viewers.
What?
For viewers.
But it was really cool shit. Like they'll whoop your ass. I'll say that. You think you got skills in the court?
I am in the worst shape of my life. I'm sure they would.
Likely.
Give me fucking 2 weeks to practice basketball. I'm shitting on them. Everybody except Caleb Clark, probably. Paige Bucher is probably gonna
You hear that, Caitlin? I want to see one-on-one. You versus him.
No, Caitlin would smoke me, for sure.
All of them would smoke you, son. All of them. There's nobody in the WNBA that wouldn't smoke
Bench
you.
warmer? Ugh.
If they've got a WNBA contract, I'll put money on them. You're my son and I
I make
love
as
you.
much as a WNBA player does right now.
What's that?
I make as much as a WNBA player.
Right. I agree, and I think that's wrong.
I don't. They don't make enough revenue. I'm pretty sure they're in the net.
Caitlin Clark does.
Caitlin Clark should make a fucking lot of money. But other than that, I don't want like half of these views going on the podcast.
You don't what?
I don't want like half of these views that I've said.
All right, we're gonna put them all on.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Look, we're not saying anything. We're not taking sides. We're just discussing stuff. So relax. It's not that big a deal.
Well, just shit on the WNBA. It's not great. I'm sure like WNBA players literally go into my work.
If there's any WNBA players watching this,
No, we're gonna cut that part out.
just know that I fully respect you, and so does he. He's
No,
just
we're-
being
we're gonna-
contentious.
We're gonna cut that part out.
He thinks we're gonna cut it.
We're absolutely cutting that part out.
Okay.
For my job.
Do you have WNBA players coming in?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna see this?
I don't give a fuck. Like,
Clearly you do.
I can't.
Clearly you do.
No, I'm saying I don't give a fuck if they see it or not. I'm not gonna risk it.
But you're not. You haven't said anything wrong. You've said that they don't have viewership. You're right.
People are getting
They're
fired.
underpaid.
People get
You're
fired
right.
for less.
What?
People get fired for less. I'm not gonna put my job on the line.
But you haven't said anything wrong. This is the whole point of
Jimmy
this.
Kimmel didn't either.
But that's the whole point of what we're talking about today. Is
Right.
So at what point do you stand up and believe and say what you truly mean?
When I don't have to fucking pay rent, when I have enough money to be able to support myself
So
without...
you need fuck you money to live in America.
Freely? Yes.
Right. Isn't that a problem?
Yes.
So what are you going to do about it?
Try to make more money.
How are you going to do that? By having controversial topics on this podcast.
Yeah, it'd be nice until you get fucking fired.
You're not going to get fired. You haven't said anything wrong.
You don't know. You have no idea. You have no
Yes,
idea.
I do. I'm moderating this. I'm absolutely in control of it.
Okay, but if I say, like, that can't go on the podcast, it's not going to go on the podcast.
All right, fine. I'll edit that part out.
Sorry. I can't risk my job.
I get it. Some things have been said that he doesn't think should go out. We're very respectful. I raised my son to be respectful. He's worried. And let's talk about this for a second. The fact that
the issue is if I have a job...
You feel like threatened because you can't speak freely.
Yeah, it's an issue.
That's a huge issue. Like, at what point do we go, it doesn't matter, like, I'm going to say what I believe. As long as that threat is over our heads...
I mean, I'll say what I believe, behind closed doors or to trusted people, but am I going to say exactly what I believe on a podcast that anybody in the world can see? Probably not. Not right now.
But isn't that lack of freedom then? What are you going to do about that?
Absolutely, it's lack of freedom. I do not.
Are you just going to accept it?
Fuck else am I supposed to do?
Stand up to it.
And face consequences that aren't going to be worth it?
What do you mean not worth it? Like, look.
If you live enough truth in your personal life and if you live enough truth in your personal life, in your day-to-day life, in your community, then at the end of the day, yes, there's value in standing up for the fact that we are not a free country anymore. But, you got to prioritize. What's my number one priority right now?
Apparently paying rent.
Starting a revolution? No. Starting a revolution is not my number one priority.
It's not starting a revolution, it's participating in it. With what happened with the Jimmy Kimmel, we're in that phase of you have to pick sides. Do you believe in what's happening or not? Like, it's weird to me that this is the line, but that's where we're at. It's now mainstream enough to go, they want you to think what they want you to think, and if you don't, you're going to be called a terrorist, and we're going to defund you as a human of this country. Doesn't that sound like it's worth fighting for? I guess you look at the moment. I'm talking. Let's change it. Let's flip the script a minute and go. What's the alternative down the road? Let's move this 5 years down the road. If people take your stance and go, what am I going to do? All of a sudden they tell you where you work, how to work. We're back now. We're in the communist nation that they said they didn't want, but they literally
so you
control
should definitely
it.
get on your horse and be smart with your money right now. So if that's what it comes down to, you can leave.
Yeah, but as an American, I know we're not Marines and we're not in the military, but as Americans, do we just go, screw them, I'm out? Or do we not stand up for what's right? Isn't that the true American value, is looking at the flag and going, this is what we have been fighting for 250 years?
The true American value is probably never was what we thought it was, because there's plenty of things going on behind the scenes that was turning us into working machines.
Right, but I'm talking about the
original core value, like
the core value of
see what you're
taxation
saying,
without
like,
representation. Like, you know what? Screw you, England.
1776, sure, but
I mean, is that not worth
we're
fighting
so
for
past
anymore? Is that not at the core? Like, do we
is
just
it
give
worth
that
fighting for?
freedom? Like, freedom to be.
You ask me right now, I say no. You ask me in a week from now, I might say yes. Like, it's one of those where, no, I think for the most part, I say no. I don't think
Oh,
it
that's
should
so
be,
disheartening to hear my son say that on.
Well, I don't think
film.
it should be about. I don't know. I think it's more of a.
I feel like a failure as a father.
All right, well, that's harsh.
Well,
I don't think that like what are we fighting for? Freedom?
We're fighting
who in
for
this
the
world is
so-
free? Who in this world is free? Who in this world is truly free?
those who know who they are and don't back down in the face of
Let me ask you this.
challenge.
Are the people in this world who are free, are they the ones who are materialistic? I need representation, or no taxation without representation. I need this, I need that. Or are the people who are really free the ones who are tapping into their spiritual side? Understanding that there's only so much that you can do on this earth.
We can go spiritual. I totally agree with you. Like, there's a spiritual component to this, absolutely.
Like there's a worldly and there's an otherworldly, and you will never be free in a worldly state even if you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want.
Say that again.
I don't think you will ever be free in a worldly state. Even if there's no laws, you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want, act however you want. I don't think that would ever make somebody free. I think a free is more of a spiritual mindset of.
Sure,
how to
but
sell
you can
myself.
be spiritually free any place on the earth or in outer space.
Yes.
But we're talking about something that is tangible here, that real lives are at stake. Hold on. Real lives, when the freedoms that we have stripped from us, freedom, just like the women's rights that have been stripped, and Charlie Kirk saying that the Civil Rights Act shouldn't have been passed, and all these people who go, life was better back in the 60s when we had Jim Crow. Like, there's people here that have made this country, and then they're going, yeah, but you're not worthy. You're not good enough.
You talking about like black people? In this?
I'm talking about black people, women, LGBTQ.
LGBTQ made this country. That
They
shit was-
wore wigs when they signed the Independence Declaration of Independence.
That was not like a popular thing. I'm sure there are plenty of gay people, but like
You're sure?
I'm sure.
My point is that my point is,
Yeah,
is
black
that
people
I
helped build this country
helped.
for sure. Like they contributed. Who else did you say? Women. Women, yeah, probably. They did good. Great nurses in the wars.
Oh, I'm not cutting that. I'm not cutting that.
I'm not saying anything bad about women. I love women.
Your mom was a woman. Your grandma was a woman.
Yeah.
It runs in your family. It skipped over you somehow.
The LGBTQ.
My point is that they're marginalizing groups, and the direction by which they cut our freedoms.
Well, when you talk about Charlie Kirk, and you talk about marginalizing groups. Yes.
What do you mean? Yeah, there better be a full period at the end of
kind
that.
a Nick Fuentes type of situation where it's like they're just standing up. Like I think like a Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, they are like truly standing up for what they believe in. I don't really have a problem with that. They are freedom of speech. But you look at Nick Fuentes and it's like, you know.
I just saw him for the first time. I don't know anything about him, and I don't really care to, but I'll let you speak to him if you want. But I do.
All I was going to say is like that guy can barely go outside because of how radical the things are that he says. Which
Yeah,
he's
from what I'm
not-
saying, he's
not
very
right or
horrible.
left. What?
From what I understand, he says some pretty horrible things.
He's racist, for sure.
What
But
I
it's
was
like-
what I was trying to get to before was when you take away freedoms and you say things and you put law into place that says, like they're trying to do, like gay marriages is not allowed anymore, or mixed race marriage shouldn't be allowed, and you get these things in the culture and say, all this progress we've made, we're going to take it away. So women, people of color.
That was never the issue.
But it
gay
is,
marriage.
but you're missing the point. It is an issue. This is what these rights chip away at. When they take away our rights, you're fine. You're a handsome white dude. You're fine for a while till they find out what your heritage is. Then they're going to come gunning for you. I'm a little bit darker skinned, and I know my heritage, and I stand up for it a little bit more, because
I was more so just nitpicking the fact like this was the should we allow gay marriage or not argument. Like this was where we are as a country is not a result of whether or not gay marriage is allowed. Like there were
Yeah,
so many other
100%
factors
is.
in
It's
play.
all integrated.
But there were so many other factors in play that were a lot more important than gay marriage.
So it's important about how big an issue is?
I
I'm
think
tracking.
I think you can nitpick talking points and be biased towards a side by saying, well, this is the reason why our democracy is falling because they're taking back the ability to have same sex marriage. It's like, no, our democracy is falling because one, the banking system is completely corrupt and fucked.
It has been.
There are a couple of people in power who kind of control everything. I'm not gonna say who, but I think we know.
I'll just put it across the box.
I think we know. No, you can't do that actually.
If
But I think we
if
know.
anybody
It's-
watches the ACLU movie Boycott, it'll be abundantly clear.
But there's a lot of reasons why we are where we are, and to nitpick a same-sex marriage, yes, I think it's completely irrelevant. That is not the reason this country's falling, by any means.
But that's what some people will have you believe. American values are destroyed because gays could marry.
Right, and then
That's-
you are coming in saying American values are destroyed because these people are saying that same-sex marriage isn't allowed. So it's
Okay,
let
let me make my
we're
point.
nitpicking stupid shit that just doesn't really matter.
No, well, I was making a larger point that as they erode freedoms, things like same-sex marriage, people of color and their rights, LGBT, those are examples of the erosion.
People of color have more rights than ever.
The fact that they didn't is a problem, and the fact that it's still a talking point confounds me.
I haven't. had
Wait, let
people
me
of
make my
color
point.
talking point
Let me
in
make
a
my
long
point.
Long time.
As the powers that be erode our freedoms, they're dictating what we can and cannot talk about. They're dictating who does and does not get services. Real people are in harm's way because of these programs that are getting cut and the resources. And when they came through with Doge and that stupid asshole, I don't understand why anybody thinks he's brilliant. He just had a bunch of money and a racist father who made him racist. But the cleaning out of government waste, it's not a business. Government is supposed to have social safety nets as well as all these other programs.
Yeah.
We just need to do it better. The problem isn't the social safety net programs, it's the corruption at the highest levels and all the money we spend on military that we can't account for.
Okay, let me start. I understand that there are plenty of people who are in harm's way, especially because of the administration.
Okay.
I don't dispute that. There is so much suffering in the world. We just see this because it's right in front of our eyes. But there is so much suffering in the world. So
Tons of suffering. What's your point?
I don't believe we as people have much control over how much suffering comes towards other people, comes towards us. Like there's only so much we can do.
Yes,
We can.
we have
restart
enough money
revolution.
and resources.
Who's we? Okay, but what I was gonna say was to the people,
Humans.
to the people who
Humans.
are in harm's way, to the people who are suffering,
Yeah.
get right with God, because that's really your only way out.
That's your belief.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stand on that belief. I'm gonna say that belief on the platform. Get right with God.
Yeah, get right with God. Sure. That's everybody's individual position. Everybody has to take that position for themselves, and there should be no external influence other than that which you personally desire to be allowed.
Well, I'm gonna spread that.
Go ahead. But that doesn't stop the suffering. That doesn't stop people from acting in evil ways.
Eventually, it'll stop suffering. Once you get there.
We can hope. You think so, but then again, that's your belief. I'd like to think if there was a God that was all powerful, he would have stopped some of this really horrific shit like child cancer.
Yeah.
I think the God that most people think, and don't get me wrong, I believe in my own version of God, but I think the God that people think they believe in has no place in valid discourse. I agree with you. There's a higher power. I believe that, but it's not at all what anybody thinks that they speak about.
I don't think we can comprehend the concept of God, but I do think Jesus is the way.
What's our gardener have to do with this?
It's such low hanging fruit. It's
Such
it's
low-hanging
corny.
fruit.
It's so corny.
So corny. But yeah, I hear you. But I think that easily dispute the Jesus argument, but you're my son and I allow you to have that without fighting it because I don't want to disrupt our relationship. But I could point to things that would
I mean,
cause
you
you to
could
believe otherwise.
Point to whatever you want, and it wouldn't disrupt our relationship or my relationship with Jesus.
All hail Jesus.
Because the whole point of Jesus is to not let worldly things disrupt your relationship with people. You should love people.
I thought
regardless.
Jesus was pro-gun, anti-abortion.
Yeah, that's what Jesus
Isn't-
is. And he was super white.
Totally white.
Yeah, pale.
Apparently he was Palestinian by
I
apparently...
think this is blasphemy. I should stop.
You're being facetious. You're not actually owning that.
Yeah.
We're allowed to joke, aren't we? Oh, I guess not. We'll go
I mean,
away.
yeah, realistically, Jesus probably would have been. This actually might be a nasty take, but
Bring it.
Jesus would have probably been pro-choice. Would he have?
He was. They talk about abortion in the Bible.
Would he want, people to have abortions? No. But God itself is never one to control. So you sit here and say child cancer happened, this and that happened. Like we can talk about that.
If you want to talk about like killing children, Jesus, like
of free will.
God's child was killed, like as an act, like the
Yeah,
whole
like,
sacrifice.
God
thing.
has given us pure free will. So it's like,
How do you give somebody free will? That's a whole philosophical debate. We'll have another time. That'll be episode next.
I see your point.
I've got a degree in philosophy, so. I mean, it's what we spent my time doing in college. What do you want from me? I didn't smoke weed. I just talked philosophy for hours on end.
I smoked weed. I smoked a lot of weed.
You can't say that on film. That's
Why not?
What if you go for a government
Weed is
job?
legal. What if I go for a government job? Trump said grab him by the pussy. I'm fine.
I don't think that position's available anymore.
Which one?
Grabbing him by the pussy. Well,
I'm just saying, like, I can say, yeah, I've smoked weed before. Was it Matt Gaetz who was like, or there was like one politician, I forget who, but like they were literally getting fucked up and they like sexually assaulted a girl when she was 16.
yeah, Gates.
It was Matt Gaetz.
Oh, no, he was just trafficking them, according to the report. I don't have evidence of that, but
You know the other one I'm talking about?
there was somebody that assaulted, like a congressman that assaulted. I mean, I understand it happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
they're all fucking pedophiles.
Yeah, we could talk about that another time too.
That actually might be.
Let's say we wrap this one up right now, and we'll do a little bit of editing on the things that we don't want to talk about. But I think I think we need to talk about Epstein and what really is going on there. And I think there's some other topics. So if there's other things that you want to talk about, let us know.
Epstein's. Sometimes I feel like the topics that we should talk about are so black and white that like, what's the point of talking? Like everybody already knows the truth is out there.
Yeah, but the fact is that belief versus fact stops people from acting on fact.
If you look at all the facts, it's so easy to come to a conclusion.
But people don't. I mean, you look at the facts. He literally admitted to saying, I'm allowed to grab him by the pussy. You can do whatever you want. And people still think that that's an acceptable person for presidency? Like, they know better. It's just whatever. They make excuses. Until people are willing to stand up for what they believe in, wholeheartedly, regardless of the consequence, we will never be free.
You know what we could do?
What's that?
We could just do your face and then no face for me so that I can speak more freely.
You don't think people will find a guy named John Tank Hanna and John Tank Hanna Jr. pretty easy to fucking find?
No face, no case. Deny, counter accuse.
Trumpy, through and through. I didn't mean that.
I mean, if they're going to play the game, I'll play the game.
Kind of have to. All right. Until next time.